Angel Reese had 9 turnovers. Yo, listen, y'all got to stop with this point forward foolishness, man. Let's take a look, man. Hold on, man. Y'all be wildin'. Y'all be wildin', son. Bruh, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, yo. Y'all gotta stop.
9 turnovers, a 23-point beatdown, and a record that split the internet in half. On July 22nd, 2025, the Chicago Sky walked into Minneapolis and got flattened 91-68 by the league-leading Minnesota Lynx. In the middle of that wreckage, Angel Reese posted her 10th straight double-double and also gave the ball away 9 times. One number became a banner of consistency. The other turned into a meme. Add in a fresh technical foul that left her 1 whistle away from an automatic suspension, and you had a game that felt less like a mid-season loss and more like a trial with the timeline as judge and jury. Meanwhile, off the court, 2 Lynx guards, Courtney Williams and Natisha Hiedeman, were busy redefining what WNBA star power looks like.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the StudBudz. Everybody watches the StudBudz. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Natisha Hiedeman, man. Listen, StudBudz stood on business today. Natisha Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
Their 72-hour StudBudz Twitch stream hijacked All-Star Weekend, pulled celebrities into the chaos, and turned the league's personality up to 11. When the game started again, the spotlight didn't turn off. It followed, it sharpened, and it landed right on the Sky. This is the story of how a blowout, a streak, and a stream collided, why the reactions were so extreme, what they miss, and how Chicago can keep the Flames from turning into a 4-alarm season. The Lynx didn't just win, they dictated. From the opening trips, Minnesota flooded the elbows and baited Chicago into touchy entry passes. Anytime Reese caught at the nail, a guard shaded into swipe low, while the big behind her loaded up to meet the spin. The first turnover looked like nerves. The third looked like a pattern. By the 9th,
in the entire WNBA in Angel Reese in garbage time. We saw it. Angel Reese last year against the Fever with like 2 minutes to go. She needed to, I think it was like 6 points and 3 rebounds. And she went and caught like 2 rebounds and then immediately goes at Victoria Saxton 3 times in a row.
The Sky were playing uphill on a treadmill. What made the box score so combustible is that it carried 2 rival headlines. Headline A, 10 straight double-doubles. That means activity, durability, relentlessness, the kind of production coaches beg for. Headline B, 9 turnovers and a 23-point loss. That means lost possessions, runouts, and a scoreboard that snowballs. Both are true, both matter, and both come from the same place. The ball was in Reese's hands a ton, and the Lynx made those touches a decision-making test. When she won the read, quick kick, deep repost, Chicago looked alive. When she forced the window, Minnesota ran the other way with smug efficiency. The game ended, but the clips didn't.
Chases after this opponent, gets close to her during a box out, grabs her by her hips, and hip tosses her, throwing her to the ground. She stands up, she walks over to this opponent, bends over, screams in her face, and flips her the double bird. That's the WNBA gold. We're gonna get into it. And the laughter, oh, Angel. Oh, my angel, you're my darling, angel, angel, angel. You've been playing well, Angel. I give it to you. You've been playing well. But every now and then, those stinkers, oh man.
Every jump pass into traffic became a loop. Every putback became a counter-argument. If you only scrolled, you'd think she either dominated or detonated. The film says she did some of both. But the number that changed the week wasn't on the scoring line. It was on the tech sheet. Reese walked out of Target Center carrying 7 technical fouls for the season, one shy of the new automatic suspension mark. The W raised the threshold to 8 to match a longer 44-game slate, but the math is still brutal. The 8th tech equals an unpaid game and a hole in Chicago's rotation. On a team already bleeding for margin, that's not a slap on the wrist. That's a missed heartbeat. And the optics hit even harder than the punishment. The entire All-Star weekend had just turned into a megaphone for the players pushed toward a better CBA.
Like, there's absolutely no foul in that. She gets a good whistle, jumps up, and then goes at somebody on the other team. Who's she go at? She goes at Diamond Miller, her former Maryland teammate. And, like, Angel's one tech off a suspension as well. And is like, anytime anyone gets into it with her, she's straight in their face. And I'm like, I don't mind that. But you just got to be smart. To be fair, this guy sucks, so you might as well just go and take your, I'll say it.
Pay us what you owe us, shirts, chants in the arena, a united front. Reese backed that energy publicly. So when the next game ends in a blowout and another tech, the discourse does what it always does, turns a basketball moment into a referendum on character. Is she fiery or reckless? Targeted by refs or talking herself into trouble? Depends on who you follow. Here's the real stakes. The Sky without Reese turn into a different team. They lose their glass eater. They lose second chances. They lose intimidation at the rim. The fastest way to slow a skid is to remove free points for the other side, both from live ball turnovers and from technical freebies. The path forward isn't complicated. It's just discipline.
Just when I thought she was turning her season around, just when I thought Angel Reese was graduating from pretend basketball player to make-believe basketball player, the level where it's almost believable that Angel Reese is a basketball player. Just when I thought Angel Reese would pull through in the clutch and do America a favor. With a win last night against the Minnesota Lynx, Angel Reese would have become the most popular player in the WNBA dump. Well, Casey, that's simply not possible. Caitlin Clark will always be the most popular player in the WNBA.
Discipline is the theme, because the gap between her numbers and Chicago's results keeps daring people to pick a side. Numbers travel, streaks go viral, and Reese has put real, historic ink on the record book. Multiple 10-plus double-double streaks, league-leading rebounding. A motor that never seems to cool. That matters. It isn't fake. You don't luck your way into that kind of consistency. But the Sky's offense lives on the edge of a knife. Turnovers have haunted them all year, and their offensive rating sits near the bottom of the league. When a system is fragile, every hub touch is amplified. A safe read keeps you breathing. A late cross-court lob turns into three the other way, and a huddle full of long stares.
When I know why people are defending this, let's get into it. Nneka Ogwumike, she gets up, proceeds to get boxed out, unable to move her opponent out of the way. Nneka Ogwumike retaliates, grabs her by the hips, throws her to the floor, stands over her, screams on her, flips her the double bird. Quinterly, Dallas Wings teammate, being a good teammate, gets in the middle of the two, pushes Nneka out of the way like a good teammate should. Instead of saying, Nneka, come here, let me get you a hug. No, get up off my teammate, girl. Get up off my teammate. Nneka Ogwumike can't let it go.
Reese's game is built on effort plays, tip-outs, crash rebounds, deep seals, but the Lynx forced her to be a primary decision-maker. That's where the learning curve shows. She's not a finished product as a passer. She flashes it, then chases it. It's a classic second-year trap, making the great play you just saw instead of the right play that's available now. Against elite defenses, the window for great gets smaller and more expensive. Does that mean the streak is empty? No. It means the context is loud. 10 and 10 are clean. 9 turnovers are louder. If Chicago wants the best of Reese, without the worst of the blowback, they have to build a runway that rewards quick decisions and punishes hesitation, or the discourse will keep deciding the story for them.
I'm telling you, with a win last night, Angel Reese would have surpassed the Rue from Waterloo in popularity. Now, I am not saying that her dozens of aliases would have passed Caitlin Clark, but Angel Reese herself, she definitely would have. Going into the game last night, Cheryl Reed, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, she told the doofus duo who refer to themselves as StudBudz, she told them if they lost this game to the Chicago Bravado, they would no longer be allowed to stream on Twitch.
While Chicago wrestled with reads and rhythm, The league around them was busy changing the rules of attention. The StudBudz didn't ask for permission. They just hit go live and let the WNBA breathe. For 3 straight days over All-Star, Courtney Williams and Natisha Hiedeman gave fans what they've been begging for: unfiltered personalities, inside jokes, dancing coaches, superstars being normal and weird and lovable. It wasn't polished. It wasn't corporate. It was sticky. Clips flew everywhere. Commissioner dancing, stars singing, rookie legends cracking up, players hyping players. By the time the weekend wrapped, the follower count had exploded, and a lot of new fans felt like they knew the league for the first time. Here's why that matters to Chicago. Once a sport becomes a 24/7 conversation, every game reads like an episode in a bigger season.
Lads, Angel Reese is currently about to be suspended. She has 7 technical fouls on the season. And if this was last season, in a 44-game season, she would have already been suspended. She would have already been suspended. And it is genuinely one of the funny things about this is that her fans are arguing that none of the texts are warranted. They are all warranted.
Attention carries over. Heat carries over. When the Lynx hype train rolled back into town after the break, the camera was still on, and the sky rolled in as the foil. That's not fair. It's just how narrative works. Even Cheryl Reeve leaned into the bit. On stream, she joked that any video of her dancing had to be AI and laughed about keeping the buds in check if the team didn't show up after the break. Players loved it. Fans loved it. And the message underneath the humor was clear. Be yourselves, but be ready. Minnesota was. Chicago wasn't. Minnesota wasn't the only team producing viral content. The Sky had a clip of their own, and it wasn't a highlight. A few games earlier, after a whistle-heavy night against Washington, cameras caught Reese swatting a clipboard out of a coach's hands in the huddle.
What's up, y'all? I just want to talk about this chick, Angel Reese, for a second. She has been all over my timeline, over my Twitter, or X, Instagram, TikTok. She's always pushing people and this and that. She's always in controversy. So let me address this situation real quick. How is she a professional athlete? Like, can we step back for a second and just analyze this situation? How in the world is this chick a professional athlete? She is, out of all the clips that I've seen, she is the worst basketball player I've ever seen.
It lasted a second. The internet turned it into a week. Critics called it disrespect. Supporters called it passion boiling over in a frustrating season. Reese addressed it. Ownership, apology, move on, but the image stuck because it fit a story people already wanted to tell. This is the cost of being a face of the league while still learning the job. Every misstep becomes a parable. Every celebration invites an audit. Reese plays with an edge. Edges cut both ways. That's not a moral failing. It's a management problem. The job now is creating guardrails that keep the fire and remove the splash damage. That splash damage keeps showing up on the stat sheet, in the same columns, for the same reasons. Bad offense rarely collapses because of one weakness. It collapses because of a chain of small, fixable errors that pile on top of each other. Late spacing. A shooter relocates a step slow, shrinking the skip window. Soft entries. The post feed floats, inviting help from the top and a dig from the nail. Hesitant reads. The ball handler sees too, but waits for a perfect pass. By then, it's gone. Live ball turnovers. The worst kind. Instant layups the other way. Spiral. Transition threes land. The bench slumps, and now you're playing the scoreboard and the crowd. Reese sits at the center of all of this because the possession often ends with her, either in a good way, put back, foul drawn, spray to a shooter, or a bad one.
Made some comments about Angel Reese.
Yeah.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I love black people. Mwah, 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 mwah. But I think sometimes we do play the race card too much. This ain't racial. This is about sports. This is about athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese.
Spin into traffic, jump pass, strip. When she chooses simplicity, the Sky looks structured. One hard dribble, two-handed pivot, solid kick, seal deeper, repost. When she chases a window that isn't there, the team surrenders oxygen. The solution isn't to shrink her role. It's to simplify the reads and change the geometry. Empty side pick and rolls. Give her one helper to beat, not 3. Delay actions into slot cuts. Force the low man to choose between tagging Reese or giving up a layup. Early post seals off drag screens. Let the guard hit the pocket pass before the second defender loads. Spell her with a short roll hub. Use a high IQ screener to force rotation, then hit Reese on the weak side crash, where she's a terror. Make the defense wrong more quickly, and the turnovers shrink by themselves. Of course, tactics are only half the story. Expectations shape everything. How plays are called, how fouls are felt, how mistakes are remembered. Angel Reese is not just a player. She's a conversation. Confidence, celebration. Who gets to talk? Who gets policed when they do? The same energy that fills arenas also fills the comment sections with bad faith. Some people will see a double-double and call it empty calories. Others will see a hard foul and call it persecution. The truth, inconveniently, is in the middle. She's a high motor, high-impact rebounder whose decision-making is developing under a microscope most second-year players never face. The Sky are trying to build around that in real time with a roster that's been hit by injuries and role shifts. That means ugly stretches.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who need to hear this, but Angel Reese gotta be the worst basketball player ever. She's the worst basketball player ever. Like, do y'all guys don't understand this? She only made 2 points with 12 rebounds. She missed a couple of shots and she missed a rebound, bro. She only made 12 rebounds. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 12 rebounds.
It also means you can wake up one morning leading the league in rebounds and another morning leading it in technicals. It's chaotic. It's also fixable. Zoom out and the league is exploding. A multi-billion media deal, surging attendance, superstars crossing over into the mainstream, and players wielding their voices with precision. If you want the WNBA to feel bigger, messier, louder, more alive, this is it. You don't get the culture without the conflict. You don't get the growth without the growing pains. So what does fixable actually look like right now, next week, and the rest of the season? For Reese, zero tech mandate. Talk with your game, not the whistle. One more and you sit. Don't let that be a storyline you can control. First touch rule. On your first post catch each quarter, decide in 1 second. Score, kick, or swing. Set your own tempo. 2-play standard. If a turnover happens, next 2 plays are simple actions: screen, seal, rim run. Rebuild rhythm on effort, not hero reads. Film diet. Rewatch every turnover from Minneapolis. Chart what the defense showed, what you saw, and what the clean exit was. Turn pain into a checklist. For coach and scheme. Empty corner, every quarter. Call it, liven it. It chops the help tree down. Guard accountability. No floaty entries. If the angle isn't there, flip the side and hit the pocket. The passer decides if the turnover happens. Own it. Reward the spray. Anytime Reese kicks out on time, give her a guaranteed touch within 2 possessions. Positive feedback loops build habits. Stagger the usage. Don't stack high-stress reads for her on 3 straight trips. Mix and go screens, 45 cuts, and deep duck-ins that put her in finishing mode. For the locker room, public unity, private honesty. Argue in film. Ride for each other on camera. The internet can't tell the difference between a correction and a collapse. Define a win that isn't the score. 15 or fewer turnovers. 20+ points off second chances. Opponents under 12 in transition. Hit 2 of 3 and you're in every game. For the fans and the noise, hold 2 truths. The streak is real and the turnovers matter. If you want better basketball, demand better plans, not smaller stars. This season is a test of attention. Who can handle it, harness it, and turn it into wins? The Lynx showed how. The StudBudz proved why it matters. And the Sky, if they solve the turnover math and keep their best player on the floor, still have time to flip the script from chaos to climb. One night in Minneapolis didn't ruin the Sky or crown the Lynx. It did something more useful. It revealed exactly where Chicago breaks, exactly where Angel Reese still has to grow, and exactly how modern the WNBA has become. The league lives on the court and on the timeline. The best teams win both. Reese can still turn this into a season remembered for evolution, not eruptions. The sky can still turn chaos into a plan. And the StudBudz just proved that attention is currency, so the smartest move is to spend it on winning. The next viral clip is coming. Make sure it's a chest pass to the corner, not another jump pass to nowhere.